back from another trip in the RV going from Texas to North Carolina, back to Texas. Multiple things happened with this RV in the midst of this trip. It is the third trip that I've taken this camper on. It's now at about probably 3,000 to 3,500 miles of towing distance on this camper. And we're going to see what happened on this trip. This is episode 3, I believe, maybe episode 4. I can't even remember. I think it's episode 3 of RVs Are Junk. My first time camping in this, probably already past age and check. Welcome back to another video, y'all. If you're new here, my name is Myles with Firmly Unbound. Firmly Unbound is my other company, and Firmly Unbound, I have another YouTube channel called Firmly Unbound that is linked down below in the comments and description that you can find, where you can find all of my camping videos there. So if you want to see videos of my camping trips specifically, that is where you can find those. So this here is my 2025 Alliance Delta travel trailer. I've owned this thing for about 2 months now. I've taken it on 3 different trips, essentially. It's traveled from Colorado to Texas, from Dallas to East Texas, and now from Dallas to North Carolina and back. So quite a few trips. One of the things that I discovered on this trip that went wrong is I did not have a cap here on my sewer hose holder right there. And I had my sewer hose in here, and I had a piece of tape holding it in place over the top there because I did not have the proper cap. And this is actually something that I just did not catch at the dealership, or this is one of the issues with things going wrong with RVs. Like when I walked through the RV, it's very possible that cap was there when I purchased the RV and then it fell off at some point with me towing the RV, but I don't know for sure. There's no way for me to know for sure because I didn't take a video of like that aspect of the camper the day that I picked it up. So I don't know if it was there when I picked it up from the dealership. I don't know if the dealership forgot to put it there or if it just fell off while I was towing it down the road. Nonetheless, I had my sewer hose stored in there with a piece of tape holding it over because I ordered the wrong cap from Amazon when I tried to replace it, and it didn't fit properly, and that piece of tape fell off and I lost my sewer hose. So bummed I lost the sewer hose. Also hope that I didn't cause any traffic disturbances with losing my sewer hose out there in the wild. But that is thing number 1 that went wrong on this trip. Next thing to talk about is up here on the roof, because this was very important. I have not had any roof leaks on this camper yet, and it has sat in probably at least about 36 to 48 straight hours of rain. It rained a ton in North Carolina while I was up there, and before I went on that trip, I checked my roof, and you can see I have this patch of a Turnabond on here. Now, this is not saying that this is like a proper repair of this or anything like that, because I do actually want to come here and use like the Dicor leveling or self-leveling sealant here to patch up this little hole that was right here. But what I can say is I didn't have any roof leaks while I was on this trip, and there was a little hole here in the seal that I caught before going on this trip that very well could have been a roof leak. So part of being an RV owner is understanding the things that could potentially go wrong, how to catch them, and how to prevent them from happening. So pretty proud of myself for catching that and fixing that, because that very well could have been a roof leak problem and could have led to me being someone going online and complaining that my roof leaked the second time I took it out. But I was being a responsible RV owner and checking these things and prevented that from happening. And the next couple of things that went wrong were here inside of the camper. Thing number 1 was I forgot to latch this door before I went down the road. Now, luckily, this system up here stayed in place pretty dang well, and it didn't come out of the tracks. Nothing happened. And sorry, it is freezing cold today, and I'm like on the verge of shivering here, so I'm trying to stay warm. I did not realize how cold it was going to be when I came out here, but you can see right there, there's some damage to the trim there that's basically not really going to be fixable. It's just going to look like that from here on out. And it was actually because I forgot to latch this door, and it kept slamming up against that spot because it wasn't latched. So that was something I could have prevented. That was my fault. And this, again, what I'm seeing is there's definitely going to be a fair amount of things that go wrong in RVs because of just not doing proper preventative care, essentially. Now, this here was something that was not my fault. And this is the most curious thing to me out of all of them, as far as like online discourse. This basically this panel up here, it looks like it's like a Luan material likely. It came undone here. So you can see that there are little like staple areas where it was secured into place up here to this wood beam. You can actually see the staple right there, and going down the road, it popped out like this. So got back here to Texas and realized that it was out of place like this and is basically coming undone. Now, this is something where I'm just so curious. Is this the kind of stuff that happens with RVs that cause people to say that RVs are junk? Because when I look at this and saw that this happened, and maybe this is just my overexposure to RVs, I didn't even like bat an eye at this. Like, this isn't a big deal to me at all. I could see how some people would be like, what the heck? Like, this thing is falling apart. Looking at this is totally and completely expected for me with just my experience with RVs, that stuff like this may happen. And it's also not a hard fix whatsoever. So as I turn the camera back around, like, I'm not going to fix it today because it's not a pressing issue, but before I go on my next trip, I will fix it. I'm just going to take a bunch of nails or a staple gun, and I'm just going to go down the sides here, and I'm going to adhere it back into place. Or I could even use like a sticky kind of putty or something like that to hold that in place as well. It can certainly be argued that, like, yeah, maybe they should have used some, more staples to hold this in place, some bigger staples. But keep in mind, the bigger the staple is, the more of a cosmetic defect it's going to look like down underneath here, which some people also don't like. So I don't know. For me, it doesn't bother me at all to have just like staples here underneath holding this in and being able to see them. Like, that doesn't bother me in the slightest bit whatsoever. And that's probably what I will do. Or like I said, I could even take like some adhesive putty or like something of that degree, or because you probably want to be able to get down underneath here. I don't want to do like a something that's going to prevent being able to access this in the future. Maybe, I don't know if that's super important or not, but nonetheless, there's so many easy ways to fix this that it's not a big deal to me whatsoever. And just goes to show, with an RV, you should definitely have a decent amount of set of tools with you just to fix little stuff like this. Whether it's staples, nails, a hammer, a little nail gun, anything like that. Like, stuff like this is absolutely going to happen in any RV at just about any price point. It's just, you're driving this thing down the road, and how you drive is going to dictate that as well too. There were certainly some times where I was going over 70 miles an hour towing this RV, and I'm realizing I really should just stay in the 65 or maybe even under 65 mile range. But even still, there were some really aggressive roads that I had to drive over getting this camper back from North Carolina. This RV is literally, like, quite literally going through an earthquake basically the entire time I'm driving it back home. So that's like 17 straight hours of experiencing an earthquake. Imagine if you're home experiencing an earthquake for 17 straight hours. If this was the only damage that happened to my home after a 17-hour earthquake, I would be shocked. I would be like, oh my gosh, this is the best built home I've ever seen. So to expect an RV to like never have stuff like this happen is so unrealistic. I hope this isn't the only things that are happening that are causing people to say and comment that RVs are junk, because our RVs experience an earthquake every time we tow them down the road. So that was it though. Other than that, everything else is good. I don't have the lights on in here, but the rest of the camper, I've gone through everything in here, and I have not been able to diagnose any other problems that happened going down the road. That is it. No other problems on the trip. It was a pretty easygoing trip. And I should also mention, make sure to stay tuned for this series, because there's definitely more to come, as there's some systems in this RV I have not even used yet. I'm a pretty easygoing RV traveler, so when it's looking anywhere close to freezing temperatures like it was on this trip, I'm not going to use water. Like, I'll find another solution. It's at least not going to use water in the RV systems itself. So I actually have not used the water in this camper yet. It is still winterized. So that's going to be something on my next trip. I'll likely use the water for the first time, test the shower for the first time, all these different things. And we'll see if any issues arise as we dive into using all the different water systems in this RV. That was everything that happened my last time taking this camper out. So If I do come across anything that I may have missed, it will be in my next episode of RVs Are Junk. And if you're looking for more content like this, stay tuned, because every single time I take this camper out and use it, there will be a new episode of RVs Are Junk for you guys to see what went wrong, what I'm doing to prevent things from going wrong, and stuff that I'm doing to fix up the stuff that goes wrong. So that's all I got for y'all. Until next time, live firmly unbound.